What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. We are here on the free-to-play account going to do the Path to Power the story event, the new story event that was added to Global, and this introduced free-to-play STR Yamcha. Now, this Yamcha is pretty interesting. I feel as though the way I built him, I feel like it's balanced because he's kind of he doesn't really, I mean, he specializes in one thing, but he kind of like does something else as well, right? So we'll get into that here in a second, but the final battle, we're going to go ahead and do the final stage once. We're going to go over his kit, right? We're going to let this auto battle and stuff like that.
Let's do this.
And then we are going to look at the kit that I made for him now, and I'm going to explain myself. It's not going to be a long video. So Yamcha, his leader skill is category key +3 HP attack and defense plus 50%. His passive skill is attack and defense 150%. Start of turn, pretty good. Plus an additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super attack. He gives super class allies key 1 and attack and defense 20%. And then then this is a fourth part of his passive. When there is a Peppy Gau's category ally on the team, plus an additional 100% defense, very good. And starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, the second part of this, plus an additional key +1 attack and defense 20% for super attack for super class allies, and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. So that bit of his passive is kind of stupid. From the 5th turn from the start of battle, he gives 20% more support a key, and he gets the ability to normal attack, get a normal that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. If they just remove that starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle, he would be so drastically better. But I feel as though because they added that restriction, he's kind of not as great as he could be, right? And there's another part to him that as well. His super attack effect is raises attack for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to the enemy. He doesn't raise defense, so the ability for him to multiple super attack, he gets no defense, right? So it's kind of like, it kind of works against him being able to multiple super attack, right? If he doesn't have built-in defense, especially nowadays, especially for a free-to-play card for sure, right? Okay, so his links are Flee, Solid Support, Infight of the Incredible Journey, Guidance of the Dragon Balls, and Shattering the Limit. Not a bad link set in terms of like key, pairing up with other characters, stuff like that. It's a pretty good one for like a DB Saga character, right? So, and his categories are DB Saga, Earthlings, Worthy Rivals, Bond of Friendship, Movie Heroes, and Dragon Ball Seekers. His best friend is the LR Yamcha and Puar, holding 5 out of 7 links, which is pretty good, and shares basically every single category outside of Movie Heroes with him, which is very, very awesome. His second best, or I guess a whole bunch of other pairings with him, is STR Hachiat, STR Easy 8 Chi-Chi, and Fizz, Easy 8 Boma, and then there's that World Tournament TN, 2 World Tournament TNs, and then there's a whole bunch of other cards, right? And he shares 3 out of 7 links with the new Dokkan Fest Kid Goku, right? Or Goku Youth, right? Which is very awesome. But again, he's kind of a very basic character, right? But I feel as though the potential is there for his Easy A to be pretty good, if and when he gets an Easy A within this year or so on and so forth. But Yamcha himself, I agonized how I actually wanted to build this guy, because so let's split his passive 2 ways. So up until when there's a Pepe Gau's category ally on the team, everything before that is the first part of his passive. That's how I consider, because it's immediate. It's something you get right away as soon as you super attack. The second part of his passive is all condition based and stuff like that. Like 50, like how I look at it, it's like, oh, under 50% you get 100% more attack. That's a second part of a passive. That's how I've always looked at characters. Always 2 parts to every character for the most part nowadays. One is immediate or very close to being immediate. The other half is very conditional based, right? So in the first half of his passive, he's very basic, and for his simplicity, he's actually not that bad. He's a basic support unit for DB Saga and Earthlings at bare minimum, despite the fact he's a superclass ally supporter. But he can also has good defense and attack stats in his passive, plus he gets a lot of that attack and defense when he super attacks is what you want, right? The two negatives are obviously obvious, right? Outside of him not having an easy A, is the second part of his passive and his super attack effect. So his super attack effect does not give him defense in any conceivable way, which sucks, right? I feel like every single character that comes out literally now until the ends of time should have defense built into their super attack in some way, shape, or form, and everything else should be added, right? Maybe when he gets an easy A, they'll give this to him, but not having it right off the bat definitely hurts him as an initial release kind of character. The second part to that is his second half of his passive is the condition based. The Pepe Gao category ally on the team is not a bad condition considering DB Saga and Earthlings have a lot of Earthling characters you can bring along, have a decent amount of Earthling characters you can bring that are from the Pepe Gao's category that could benefit and could help Yamcha 110%. However, the reason why his second half sucks so much is starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle is dumb. It's ridiculous. That should not be part of his kit at all. If that was taken off, I would have no problem with this passive skill in any way. You know what I mean? Because I know it's going to be drastically improved once, or greatly improved once his easy A comes. But the simple fact that it has that brutal restriction to get another key for all allies and another 20% attack and defense for all superclass allies, just a big pain in the ass, and another huge power boost of an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. So at full power, he can super up to 3 times. He has a 2 key plus attack and defense 40% all super class ally buff, and he gives himself another 100% defense. That's really good. That is very, very, very strong for a free-to-play card. Even if that kid was on a banner unit or a Dokkan Fest, maybe at some point in time, that would still be pretty good. But again, guard, damage reduction, whatever, right? But still, a very powerful kit for a card, for sure. And obviously, if he gives himself defense, or if he stacks defense in his super attack, or even stacks attack, it would make him even better, right? His links are kind of like in pair with a Yamcha, right? If he pairs up with a Yamcha, he's actually not that bad. But again, World Tournament LR Yamcha is not runnable, right? You really would run him for shits and giggles, kind of a thing, right? So that's how I look at it. So I built Yamcha in a way that kind of made him a jack of all trades kind of a character. I gave him some additionals to benefit from his additional stuff, right? I gave him some crit to give him a little bit of damage output, and I gave him some dodge so he can dodge because he is a support character, right? Just based upon the first half of his passive, not on the second half, because the second half is condition based, and I don't like how they did it, right? So based upon his first part of his passive, he benefits from all 3, so there's no real negative way to build them, right? So I would build them however you see fit. I can only recommend what I see. You can definitely build them with full additional and full crit or no dodge, right? And make them that way. Or you could build them full crit and then full dodge or something like that, right? There's 3 ways right there. Or you can build them just entirely full dodge, dude, and just make them like a 27 dodge character or whatever with like crazy ass skill orbs. You could do that and he could become great because he is a support character, right? But I feel building into his kit as best you can with his passive is the best way to approach this Yamcha. So that's why I just kind of gave him like a taste of everything. You know what I mean? Maybe through his easy A, I will change this, but I feel very comfortable building him this way. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think of Yamcha. Do you think that second part of his passive with the restriction of on the 5th turn from the start of battle is stupid? Because I think it's dumb. I think if they just remove that, it would be so much better now, right? But because he has that restriction, he kind of falls in the second half of his passive, though. Despite the fact the second half of his passive is actually pretty good, so maybe having that restriction is optimal, right? Maybe through his EZA, they reduce it from 5 to 3. That would make him a lot better, but it still sucks. But nonetheless, what can you do? Giving him the ability to get some defense on his super attacks through an EZA would make him drastically better. And then obviously releasing a Yamcha and Puar or Yamcha and somebody else, or Yamcha Tien LR. That could happen. I could see that. Dude, a Yamcha and Tien card in general, dude, would benefit like some of the... Dude, I can see that. Maybe one day. Oh, dude, look at my ideas coming out just out of nowhere, son. Anyway, but let me know what you guys think of this Yamcha, how you think you would build them. I'm very curious, obviously, always, right? Do you think I made a right decision on building them the way I did? I feel like I did, but I would like to hear your opinions. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Take care.